especially dangerous enemy detected. Victory details added to personal file. Mission successfully completed.
and pay no interest for 60 months.
Plus, get a 365-day monthly guarantee. Only at locally owned Mattress Direct.
Mattress Direct, the best rest for land.
I used to say news, but it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcasters and press one. See, local stations make my community on every device. There's no bias on how people shout for no reason. Everybody trusts. I say that.
Analyzing system components. Efficiency 100%. Threat level maximum. Sending victory data to Divine Observatory. Requesting updated instructions. Please refrain from rebooting me until the operation is complete. Correct tactical decision detected. caution mode. Reminder, regular warranty maintenance required. Extreme caution recommended. Dangerous enemy neutralized.
Sitting in a car in a driveway, and his wife came up to him and shot him in the face.
You can see a breakdown of Godwin's full criminal history right now on our website, WLOX.com. Happening at this hour, police across state lines are working together to identify a body found in Lucedale. Officials believe it is that of a missing teen from Alabama. According to authorities, the clothing on the body matches what 16-year-old Brian Parker was last seen wearing. He's been missing for the past week. His friend, Matthew Moberg, was already facing charges in connection with Parker's disappearance. Police say there were several inconsistencies in his story. Looking ahead, changes in the works at Keesler Air Force Base. Doug Walker is live in Biloxi now with a breakdown.
Well, probably out there doing some goddamn drugs. He did too much, got scared and dumped his ass somewhere and left him. I ain't seen him.
Official announcement about the construction of a new main gate for Keesler Air Force Base here at the corner of Division Street and Forest Avenue. That's where I'm standing, and this is where this project will take place, a multi-million-dollar project. Several dignitaries are going to be involved with this announcement today, and then obviously an official groundbreaking will take place. So joining me now with the City of Biloxi's Cliff Kirkland. Kirkland got us from there. Top priority of his since he took office nearly the day he took office. Why?
Well, this project's been talked about for a long time, going back early 2000 actually. The need to locate a new main entry gate to correct some deficiencies, security concerns at the old gate at White Avenue.
What are those concerns? What are those deficiencies? Why the need for a new gate?
Well, one of the big problems there, obviously, interested in that and understand that location is the railroad tracks, the proximity, close proximity to the gate. Also, the issue of the gate itself and its entry on the base is a small, confined area. You're not able to process large trucks, commercial trucks. We have to bring them around Back Bay through the neighborhood to come in.
It impacts traffic as well as security. All right, Cliff Kirkland with the City of Biloxi. Thanks for joining. So again, the official announcement
may wonder what's the future of the White Avenue Gate. It is not going to close entirely. It will be a limited access gate, but the main gate on Keesler, which makes it very convenient, is right here at the end of Division Street. You'll be able to come right off of I-110 down Division Street and enter Keesler. Obviously, again, a multi-million-dollar project, which is going to probably take a few years to complete, but we'll continue to follow it on air and online. Reporting live in Biloxi, Doug Walker, for Good Morning Mississippi.
New this morning, the governor forms a task force to make Mississippi a leader when it comes to research on the water. Jonathan Brandon is live with the details.
That's exactly right. Governor Bill Ryan's going to be in town today to announce his governor's ocean task force. It's going to be right here at the National Guard Combat Readiness Training Center. He's going to be signing the documents today to get this effort started. This is basically a way to further Mississippi's role as a leader in unmanned ocean systems. Now, you may not realize it, but South Mississippi is already a leader in the industry. The naval meteorology oceanography command is actually based in the Space Center in Hancock County. And from that base, worldwide unmanned gliders are operated right there, the central command for that operation. Now, these gliders basically go around and collect data for military use, for research use, and they are, like I said, that command is based right there in Hancock County in the Space Center. So this effort is going to be further in cooperation with surrounding agencies, with institutions, and universities in the area, working on a partnership to make sure that growth is there for the potential of making Mississippi an even bigger leader in this industry, this worldwide global industry. So we're going to be following this story.
Requesting updated instructions. Please refrain from rebooting me until the operation is complete.
And we'll bring you all the details that you need on air and online. I'm Jonathan Brandon live in Baltimore for the Other West.
And maybe we know right there what Jonathan's saying is, but I think these later today going to need a rain jacket. As well as see this to head outdoors. Here's a look at our forecast for today. Numerous showers and maybe a few scattered storms are expected across the area. If you remember what happened yesterday, I feel like it's going to be pretty similar to that. So right
Oh my God, Lisa.
showers right there across the coastal.
Filled in Philly cheesesteak, po' boy, shrimp, chicken, and roast potatoes. It's on a sandwich. Yeah, you can't close it. It's wide open. Huh? You don't say. These might just made it at home. That damn thing look good as hell though.
The Shepherds are looking to bounce back from their series opening loss to Mobile. Rain forced Wednesday's game to be canceled, so they will take on the Bay Bears at home in a doubleheader set to start at 5:05 later this afternoon. But before that, kids across the coast are going to take the field. Biloxi Shuckers team ambassador Gary Lyons is hosting a youth baseball clinic to work with young ones on their skills. Today's session begins at 9:30 this morning. You do have to register your child for them to attend. Besides today, there are several other sessions throughout the summer. We're hoping it doesn't get rained out because that session supposed to happen yesterday, and here we are looking again at a chance for shower.
Yeah, before they talk about the field and everything, I feel like it's like a really, really big part of this whole time. We won't have to get close to it.
A big baseball umbrella. All right, thank you so much for starting today. Have a great Thursday, everyone. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more of the news weather.
Good morning, America. Decision Day. President Trump set to make a major announcement. Will he pull out of the landmark climate change deal? The president's inner circle deeply divided. Ivanka Trump against Steve Bannon. Inside the fierce fight at the White House. And what's at stake? A decision coming just hours from now.
Breaking news, a massive explosion rocking this Wisconsin plant overnight.
A large explosion, large fire, a lot of smoke.
Employees trapped inside as it collapsed. At least one person killed, multiple missing or injured. Helicopters and emergency crews on the scene, racing to find survivors.
Newly released dashcam video shows Tiger Woods' DUI arrest. Steph Curry opening up exclusively to GMA about taking on LeBron. We obviously run into each other from time to time, and we have the battles on the court. What he's saying about the ultimate rematch kicking off tonight. Mr. Steph Curry, good morning, America.
Live at Times Square, this is Q&A with Robert Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. All eyes on the NBA Finals tonight. It's some pretty impressive stats. It is the third time in a row the Cavs are facing off against the Warriors.
Insufficient memory space, archiving data.
The Cavs? No.
That's Cleveland, too.
I know.
It's going to be hard. I'm going with Cleveland as well. We're all out there, right? We're all out there. It is a busy Thursday morning in Washington. President Trump just hours away from making that big announcement about the Paris Climate Accord. This could be a dramatic break from the world community. Right now, only Syria and Nicaragua have not signed on. This morning, more than 40 House Democrats are calling for Jared Kushner to lose his security clearance over reports that he failed to properly disclose secret meetings with the Russians. And former Vice President Joe Biden of Washington New Political Action Committee has called American possibilities, and it is sparking some speculation that it could be done in 2020. We want to start with the president's climate deal decision. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega is at the White House this morning. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, George, good morning to you. White House sources tell us that the president is likely to pull out of that Paris climate deal today. The president himself not offering any hints. Instead, he is tapping into his days as a reality TV star, teasing ahead to that big announcement this afternoon. His announcement came overnight in the form of what else? A tweet. President Trump says his much-anticipated decision on the Paris Climate Accord will come today at 3 p.m. in the Rose Garden. It's a decision he's been talking up for days. Yesterday at the White House, even on his big foreign trip, saying he would make his final decision this week. Both in and outside the White House, the lobbying is fierce. His inner circle deeply divided. Chief strategist Steve Bannon, along with 22 Senate Republicans, pushing for withdrawal. Chief economic advisor Gary Cohn, a Democrat, and daughter Ivanka pushing to stay. Apple's Tim Cook and Tesla's Elon Musk making personal last-minute pleas. Musk even threatening to resign from White House advisory councils if the president backs out of the deal.
Global warming, a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
That was then candidate Trump on the campaign trail. Aides now say the president's views on climate change are evolving. Now the president seems poised to back out of that landmark climate deal, dismissing the advice of even the Pope, prompting responses from both sides of the aisle. Bernie Sanders called it a horrific mistake, and former Republican Governor Mitt Romney tweeted, "Affirmation of the Paris Agreement is not only about the climate, it is also about America remaining the global leader." Well, polls show that a majority of Americans overwhelmingly oppose withdrawing from the Paris deal. But, George, as you say, if the U.S. does leave this accord, it would leave us with just two other countries standing alongside Nicaragua and Syria.
Yeah, big break right there. Meantime, Hillary Clinton not going anywhere. She's out in public again last night talking about the election, talking about this climate change deal as well.
Yeah, George, this is basically 2016 all over again. She's talking about the reasons for her loss, blaming everything from the FBI director to James Comey to even her own party. Take a listen to that one. I get the nomination. So I'm now the nominee of the Democratic Party. I inherit nothing from the Democratic Party.
What do you mean nothing?
I mean, it was bankrupt. It was on the verge of insolvency. Its data was mediocre to poor, non-existent, wrong. I had to inject money into it. And with that cue, the Twitter war, the president tweeted right after that, a few hours after she spoke, crooked Hillary Clinton now blames everybody but herself, refuses to say she was a terrible candidate. And of course, Hillary Clinton fired back with a tweet of her own. She is making fun of the president's tweet from a day earlier.
Analyzing system components, efficiency 100%.
She used the word, George, that none of us can pronounce, so I will spare you my attempt to pronounce it again, except her tweet was retweeted tens of thousands times more than the president's original one. So it's like we can't get rid of 2016. No, I'm not saying it.
Okay. Thank you, Cecilia. Let's go, baby.
All right, George, and for more now on the Paris Climate Accord and what it involves and who it will impact, Chief National Correspondent Tom Yamas is here. So, Tom, start with what's at stake.
Yeah, well, first, it was the largest climate agreement in history. 195 nations signed on to cut greenhouse gas emissions. Nearly every country in the world, Amy, except two, Syria and Nicaragua. Now, if the U.S. pulls out, it's going to join that very small and right now very infamous club. So what is at stake here? Well, the U.S. pledged to cut greenhouse gas emissions by at least 26% by 2025. But every country sets their rules initially, so some people don't like that. China, for instance, doesn't start really until 2030. The ultimate goal of the Climate Paris Accord, here's what it is. We want to make sure global temperatures don't rise above 3.65 Fahrenheit. Experts believe that's the point of no return.
Okay, and we heard from Cecilia's reporting that there is quite the battle brewing inside the walls of the White House. So talk a little bit more about who President Trump is getting advice from as he weighs his decision.
This is huge publicly and privately. First, those to stay, Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, and Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State. Now, of course, Ivanka and Jared, the closest advisors to President Trump, and Rex Tillerson, a former CEO of ExxonMobil, they want to stay in. But those opting to come out, big names, Steve Bannon, Chief White House Strategist, and the EPA Administrator, Scott Pruitt. Their argument is that this goes against the America First policy. It's going to hurt the 1.1 million jobs in the fossil fuel industry. And they remember the campaign promise that President Trump said he's going to come out of the Paris Climate Accord. And he made the promise in West Virginia, Kentucky, and California. And of course, if he does break, this would be the biggest public split from Ivanka Trump so far.
A decision soon?
3 o'clock, hopefully. Yeah.
All right. We'll go back over to George.
Okay, thanks very much. We're joined now by a friend and ally of the President, Christopher Ruddy, CEO of the conservative website Newsmax. Chris, thanks for joining us again this morning. You just saw the division laid out in the White House right now by Tom Yamas. Bottom line, it does seem to be that the President...
Outer shell changed successfully.
Well, it seems that way, George, based on the press reports. I do think, and you had 22 senators, I think Tom mentioned this, right to the president, including the Senate Majority Leader McConnell, saying we should pull out. It's very onerous. You know, people forget, I lived in Europe, you've been over to Europe many times. People don't drive as much. American cars, to reduce your carbon emission footprint on your car by 26% by the year 2025, that is going to be, it's cost the auto industry here billions and billions of dollars. It'll cost American consumers during that period. So we should look at the impact. I personally think that the president should kick this over to the Senate because it impacts American lives. There should be a treaty discussion on it. There should be modifications. And if, look, China's not implementing theirs until 2030, why should we be doing it by 2025?
Let's talk about the divisions inside the White House. More reports the President isolated, frustrated.
Quest complete. Compiling status report.
In the past, you've advocated that.
Well, let's go over the president's mood.
Thank Iana you are here. I was beginning to think it was my group's last expedition.
On notice, hey, you can't be underspending us by a third.
We followed protocol when we arrived. Secure the perimeter, set up camp. Then we went to study the crashed cubes.
I think there's always going to be divisions. I do think there's going to be a couple of major...
We had just started studying the first cube when a battle cruiser appeared out of nowhere. We thought Flavius had decided to pay us a visit. We were wrong.
This is not a politician that was...
The ship had been captured by the Gargonauts. We barely made it out alive. I guess they're also trying to get a hold of the mechanoid tech. We can't let that happen. Thank you very much.
This morning, of course, was early yesterday morning, that famous fake tweet. Waters are telling me you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble if you keep tweeting about Russia and the investigations. Is there anything there we can get a handle on?
Well, the president has to get a handle on it. I personally think, I predicted it would take about 6 months for those tweets to become under more of a discipline review process. The president is a guy that likes to speak his mind. This is how he made his whole career. I think it's his personality. He is no longer really Donald Trump. He's the head of state. He represents the American people. I do think the tweets are very good. We should keep doing tweets. There should just be a review process with 2 or 3 people to look at it. I personally don't think, I'm not his legal counsel, he shouldn't be talking about anything now under criminal investigation. And be very transparent about that. But I think these tweets coming out at midnight are not helping his popularity and his standing with the press and the public.
Chris Ruddy, thanks very much. And that will be ABC's live coverage. President start at approximately 3 p.m. Eastern.
All right, George, more now on that Russia investigation. ABC News has learned that fired FBI Director James Comey could testify in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee as early as next week. Our senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has those new details for us. Good morning, Pierre.
Amy, good morning. Comey wants to testify in open session before the Senate Intelligence Committee, and sources tell me it could possibly happen as early as Wednesday or Thursday of next week. But we should caution that no specific date has been set, and the situation remains fluid. But I'm told that Comey is prepared to answer questions about his relationship with the president, and whether Trump sought his loyal motive after the inauguration, whether he pressured Comey to go easy on former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
Quest data added to archives.
A conversation with the Russian ambassador. Trump has flatly denied those accusations, but we and others have reported that Comey has memos that will back up his story. No one yet over the White House would claim executive privilege to block Comey's testimony.
All right, Pierre Thomas, thanks so much. Michael?
And now that breaking news, an explosion rocking a plant in Wisconsin overnight. Emergency crews on the scene, searching for survivors. ABC News have the story.
There has been a report of a large explosion at Indian Building. A large explosion, large fire, a lot of smoke.
This morning, at least one dead, 2 missing, and multiple people severely burned after a massive explosion inside
Insufficient memory space, archiving data.
Several employees were inside the Didion corn milling plant when it collapsed after a loud blast around 11 p.m. Wednesday night.
It's a 3- or 4-story building that will hold multiple medical patients with injuries.
The 24-hour plant processes corn and corn byproducts right across the street from an ethanol plant, which was unharmed. The explosion was so powerful it caused part of the mill complex to collapse and knocked out power to
Scanning the device.
And another
Warning. Non-standard modifications detected.
The sheriff said 16 people were in that plant at the time. This is still an active scene with dozens of fire departments there, as well as agencies like the Salvation Army and the Red Cross. George, it is all hands on deck.
Representative of your life form detected.
Return now to dramatic new images showing those terrifying moments inside Orlando's Pulse nightclub as police search for the shooter. This month marks a year since 49 people were killed in that horrific attack. Our chief investigative correspondent Brian Moss is here. And Brian, you spoke to speaking with those officers who went in first.
That's right, George. And these new videos come as the memories and the emotions of people in Orlando are still very raw.
The new dramatic videos show the urgency and the heart of the active children inside the bank. Police unable to tell who a victim or a shooter. And there's the haunting sound of the victim's cell phones ringing unanswered.
A 9-year-old was just laying in pools of blood. Somebody trying to get hold of their head.
As the front page news race for safety outside, the shooter, 29-year-old Norman Seaton, holding hostage, and spends more than an hour on the phone with a police negotiator who's trying to buy time.
Tell me what you did, please. No, you already know what I did.
And then a threat of a bomb.
That's how you miss. They can take out a whole city block almost.
Police are advised to pull back.
Just so you guys know, it's a building you may not want to take out.
But not a single officer retreats.
You're in it to win it. Yeah. We didn't want
You weren't going to leave?
No.
Then the final breach, as police use an armored vehicle to smash holes in the building, and the team comes out shooting.
He's alive. The other officers there returned fire on the suspect.
In the end, 49 innocent people were killed in the worst mass shooting in American history. And those videos give us an idea of what the brave officers were up against on that terrible night.
We were so courageous, and thanks very much, Michael.
All right, this morning, pre-car investigating possible hate crime at the home of LeBron James in Los Angeles. NBC is speaking out about it ahead of tonight's game, and ABC's Matt Gutman is in Los Angeles with the story. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Michael. You know how hard it is to throw LeBron James off his legendary game day focus. The Stars
home, did just that, saying that the possible hate crime is killing him inside and admitting he's placing a rapidly right now. The Los Angeles police are investigating the vandalism at the home of NBA star LeBron James as a possible hate crime.
There was a racial slur that was painted on his gate, and the department takes hate crimes extremely seriously.
Overnight, the three-time champ speaking out to ESPN.
If it takes for someone to spray paint my gate and use that
Updates downloaded. Rebooting the system. Please wait.
On my family to shed a light on what the real issue is in the world, then so be it.
According to investigators, the graffiti was reported by a property manager at about 6:45 a.m. Wednesday morning and immediately removed by workers. James and his family weren't in the home at the time. Still, he says he's turning the incident into an opportunity to speak up about race in America.
And it hurts, and it's like unfortunate, and I gotta sit here and I gotta talk to my kids about what it means to grow up being an African American and black kid in America. Because no matter how much money you got, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, at the end of the day, being a black man in America is very frightening.
In Oakland, California, just a few hours north from his home, the King and his Cavs are preparing for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, but he admits his focus isn't entirely on the court.
I will be as focused as I can be on the job at hand tomorrow. This is a situation where it just puts me back in place of what's actually more important, and basketball is not the most important thing in my life.
Now, the LA
Initializing attack protocols.
is very alarming, but not unusual. Get this, James said that he'd be willing to become a racial lightning rod, saying that if these folks are pretty black, now there's more discussion about race in America that he's, quote, not against this happening to me as long as my family is safe. Michael.
All right, thank you, man. I'm definitely not afraid to speak up about it.
Very courageous of him. And coming up later in the show, we're going to have our exclusive with LeBron's opponent, Steph Curry. That's coming up in our next half hour. But first, let's go over to Rob with, unfortunately, more storms across the Northeast.
Yeah, 2 days in a row, AV of severe weather across the Northeast, just up the Hudson Valley, Gibson, New York. We are sped up east. There, another mothership thunder going to Bradfield up here at Hartford, Connecticut. Hail across parts of the Midwest. Time now for your warm cities, brought to you by Mazda.
I believe computers are important in design, but it's the human touch that creates design feeling, creating a phone that appeals to your heart.
GMA, the newly released video of Tiger Woods' DUI arrest after he was found asleep at the wheel.
It's wild out there. Look out and let your dogs out. Just protect them with Simparica, the monthly chew that virtually wipes out fleas and ticks. Studies showed that at the end of the month, Simparica killed more ticks in less time than both frontline and midstone. Simparica may cause abnormal neurologic signs, such as tremors, unsteadiness, and or seizures. Most frequently reporting adverse reactions, vomiting, and diarrhea. So get Simparica for protection that goes on and on.
Discover card. I'm not a customer, but I'm calling about that credit score card. And then, sure, it's free for everyone.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And checking your score won't hurt your credit.
Oh!
I'm so proud of you. Well, thank you.
Activating afterburning mode.
Scorecard, even if you're not a customer.
To turn your flicker into a flame, you'll need a spark. New Emergency Energy Plus. Natural caffeine from green tea to focus your mind. 70 vitamins plus vitamin C to pour it on you. Spark the energy within you every day. Emergency Energy Plus. Emerge MC. New episodes on CMT. Who says you have to do this?
I say I have to do this.
New music.
It just needs a little bit more work.
Because you're out, you have to please yourself. New faces. berries, picked at the height of freshness and starting at just $4.99. Did we mention they were juicy? IHOP. Eat up every moment.
It's Macy's Memorial Day mattress sale with the last days to save on mattresses from Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, and more. Plus, get free mattress delivery with a minimum purchase of $787. Shop Macy's.com or call 1-800-MACY-BED. Introducing new Parodontax, the toothpaste that helps prevent bleeding gums. If you spend life with brush or floss, you have gum problems and could be on the journey to much worse.
Requesting the serial number of the device. 97% similarity to mine noted.
WLOX News Now with what's happening right now in South Mississippi.
In Jackson County, to search for answers after a gun goes off, sending one person to the hospital. Residents of Lexington Park from Tucker Road say there's still a media behind the shooting, when they heard a big gunshot in the parking lot, and then saw them lying on the ground. Police say the man had been fighting with someone moments before the gun home. Later, both men left in separate cars. Now, the one who'd been shot later showed up at the hospital. Police right now working across state lines, working together to identify a body found in Lucedale. They believe it's a missing teen from Alabama. According to authorities, the one body matches a 16-year-old Ryan somewhere a week ago. His friend has to go work for
Mission successfully completed.
Wes Williams will look at your Thursday forecast in just a moment.
Such a great selection of recliners, and with all the great features that are available in recliners, we have power, which gives you infinite positions. But now, when you get into the position that you're happy with, you can adjust the headrest. Instead of looking at the ceiling, now you can make it as comfortable as you like, wherever you would like to set it. And also, you can leave plugs,
Pass road, Alexa.
After you pick up the kids from practice and unwind from your busy day,
So many others do at 6:30. Turn on WLOX CBS and catch up on what's happening in your neighborhood. Breaking news that impacts you.
key stories that affect our state.
And what the developments that might change your plans.
Watch WLOX News Now at 6:30.
There's a crisis in Mississippi. It affects children.
Heartbeat detected. Type of creature, immortal. Identity, not recognized.
Behavioral health challenge. This means over 130,000 children across our state are in jeopardy. Although treatment works, over 100,000 children never get the help they need. At Canopy Children's Solutions, we believe every child can be a success story. To learn more, visit mycanopy.org.
This is Jay. Jay started between satellite and cable companies for years. Then he started watching his favorite shows over the internet. Jay cut the cord, cut the modem, and bought a streaming device. Jay's only problem, he was no longer connected to here. Here, as in the local news and weather he relies on from WLOX News Now. Jay found the free WLOX News Now app on Amazon Fire. Now Jay can stay connected. And no one knows you better. WLOX News Now.
Analyzing system components. Efficiency 100%.
Not much rain showing up right now. It will on that tower cam.
Switching to combat mode.
Will it stay that way? Well, we'll take a look at radar in a moment. But first, your temperatures in the 70s. 70 right now in Diamond. Right now, our first floor radar has some rain showers come down pretty steady here in west of Tomlinville. And look at this. We're seeing some rain stretching from west of Harrison. So in the past, Long Beach, you're catching some weather at.
Facilities,
complete. Compiling status reports.
Between satellite and cable companies for years. Then he started watching his favorite shows over the internet. Jay cut the cord, cut the modem, and bought a streaming device. Jay's only problem? He was no longer connected to here. And in the local news and weather he relies on from WLOX News Now. Jay found the free WLOX News Now app on Roku and Amazon Fire. Now Jay can stay connected.
Warning. Critical speed. Nearing coding melting point.
WLOX News Now. This is Jay. Jane is always on the go. Bouncing from home to work, to this meeting, to that business trip. Jane wishes she could stay connected to here, because here is what matters most. And nobody keeps you connected to here better than WLOX News Now. Download the all-new, improved, and free WLOX to get connected to here. And know that you're never too far away. The WLOX News app. Update yours for free right now.
Requesting updated instructions. Please refrain from rebooting me until the operation is complete.
The stories that matter to you. WLOX News Now. WLOX helps weekend. Helps make your weekend better.
Quest data added to archives.
With my moderate to severe Crohn's disease, I kept looking for ways to manage my symptoms. I thought I was doing okay. Then it hit me. Managing was all I was doing. When I told my doctor, I learned Humira is for people who still have symptoms of moderate to severe Crohn's disease, even after trying other medications. In clinical studies, the majority of people on Humira saw significant symptom relief and many remissions. Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis, serious infections and cancers, including lymphoma, liver and nervous system problems, and multiple worsening heart failure. For treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where if you've had TB, hepatitis B, or chronic infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores, don't start Humira if you have an infection. Just manage your symptoms. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible. Need a fast-absorbing moisturizer? Try Nivea In-Shower Body Lotion. Wash, apply, it absorbs fast. For 24 hours.
Probability of this meeting was low. Initiating surprise enjoy modes.
Body lotion. Also available with coconut.
Discover an unexpectedly wondrous movie about the power of friendship and imagination.
Reminder. Regular warranty maintenance required.
It's Friday Eve. Welcome back to GMA, and that is Earth, Wind, and Fire with their classic hit, September. A lot of people flew in the studio this morning. Well, guess what? They are here, along with the Doobie Brothers, for the ultimate Throwback Thursday concert. I woke up happy this morning. Very excited.
A lot of equipment upstairs. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also this morning, all eyes on the White House as President Trump prepares to reveal his decision about whether the U.S. will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord. His administration and Republicans divided on what the president should do. That decision is expected at 3 Eastern today. We'll cover it live here on ABC. And this morning, tickets for Ariana Grande's One Love Manchester concert sold out in just minutes. That concert benefits the victims, of course, of the Manchester terror attack. We're just going to feature Ariana, Coldplay, Miley Cyrus, Katy Perry, Pharrell, Justin Bieber, and a lot more on Sunday.
All right, but we're going to begin this half hour with that new dash cam footage of Tiger Woods' DUI arrest. The 14-time major golf champ blaming an unexpected reaction to prescription drugs for his condition. ABC's Gio Benitez is here with the latest on the case. Good morning, Gio.
Michael, good morning. Police just released this video, and it seems to show just about every second of the long field sobriety test as you're about to see. Overnight, our first look at the dash cam video from Tiger Woods' arrest. It's just after 2 a.m. on Memorial Day, and Woods' car is stopped on a main road. He's fallen asleep. The car is still running.
Do you remember what happened when my partner came up behind you? Do you remember being asleep in the car? You know?
They asked him where he's coming from. He says California, but he's really in his hometown in Florida.
Where are you coming from? From where? From LA? Okay. Where are you heading from right now?
Active caution mode.
Down, Orange County. Do you know Orange County? Okay. Do you know where you're going right now?
Response efficiency decreased.
At times, the confused boy barely able to understand what the officers asked him. Like here, when he's asked to recite the alphabet.
Insufficient memory space. Archiving data.
And now new photos show two of the tires of his 2015 Mercedes were flat. Woods' bumper damaged. Police say Woods did not know where he was, who was cooperative as much as possible. He told them he was taking several prescriptions, including Vicodin. All of this a shocking contrast to the dominating athlete we saw win 79 PGA Tours and 14 majors. This camera now capturing a very different image of Tiger Woods.
You're going to the fight.
Only played once this year after struggles with back pain. He's already had 4 back surgeries. A big one just over a month ago. By the way, Mike is expected to face a judge next month.
All right, thank you, Gio, and our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, is joining us now. And Dan, that video, kind of scary to watch. You realize somebody was in a car in that condition. But he passed a breathalyzer test. He admitted to taking some prescription drugs. We saw the dash cam video. How does that affect this case?
Look, on the plus side, he was cooperative, and it turns out he told the truth. On the not-so-plus side, it's just about everything else on that video. You watch him on that videotape, and that can be used against him to show that he was driving. Oh, well, it has to be alcohol. Not true. As you know, I watched the show on A&E called Live PD.
Excuse me, man. He said all crazy at me.
We see people pulled over for DUI. And every night, the police officers have to decide, is this a case where it's alcohol, or is this a case where it's drugs? And in fact, there's a different kind of test they often do when it's suspected drugs.
That's messed up.
The bottom line is just the fact that he passed a
That's messed up.
doesn't get him off the hook.
Well, what kind of punishment could he face, though?
Well, you could face
Gonna hold me back.
having his license suspended. Meaning, if he wasn't Tiger Woods, we wouldn't even be talking about the possibility of jail for a case like this. So I think what you're talking about is figuring out what sort of fine.
If he wasn't Tiger Woods, he wouldn't be on Good Morning America.
And now you said you don't say that in July. So where does the case go from here?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a plea before then. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see his lawyers go forward and say, look, let's figure this out. Let's work this out. They'll take full responsibility for his actions. And remember, just because he didn't know, he says, that this interaction with the drugs could occur doesn't get him off the hook. He's still going to have to take responsibility for what happened. And so I think you're going to end up seeing some sort of plea with license suspension, a significant fine, maybe community service.
All right, man, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And George, back to you.
Thank you, Michael. Coming up in just 2 minutes, TJ Holmes sits down with Steph Curry for an exclusive ahead of tonight's finals. We'll talk about what the Warriors star thinks about facing LeBron James for the 3rd year in a row. And the real league going up here.
You're getting it, dog.
If I can adopt him, they're going to put him to sleep.
The objects, they're warriors. Can't figure out what it would take to get Rex back. You're a Marine. Megan Levy, rated PG-13.
in theaters June 9th.
As we live longer and markets continue to rise and fall, predictable is one thing we need in retirement. Introducing Bright House Financial, a new company established by MetLife to specialize in annuities and life insurance.
True radiance comes from within. New Radiant toothpaste by Colgate Optic White. Whitens teeth both inside and out. For a radiant, whiter smile. Be Radiant by Colgate Optic White.
My name is Amanda, and I smoked while I was pregnant. This is the view I had of my baby in the NICU. My chickens. You give me the opening so your baby can hear you better.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Coppertone Sport versus the sun. Coppertone Sport stays on strong when you sweat and is strong enough to stop up to 98% of the sun's damaging UV rays. Coppertone, because protection matters.
It was a Friday afternoon. I just picked up my friends after class. We never expected to be in a car wreck. I realized that I needed help, so I called Morris Spark. He got me $225,000.
Call 472-9000. Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, health news, local politics, without the bias you find on cable and social media? That's why local TV and radio is the most trusted news source.
Back now with Steph Curry and Golden State start getting us an exclusive interview for tonight's first game of the NBA Finals. Second out, TJ home. TJ, third year in a row against the Cavs. LeBron James, that beard. You guys had a lot to talk about.
We had a lot to talk about, George, and of course, this is what it's all about. They're going at it again for the Larry O'Brien trophy. They're going at it for the right to have this moment with the trophy, right? We've all seen that sweet moment they had after winning a championship. Well, we don't know what's going to happen in Cavs Warriors 3, but Steph Curry, who is, I guess, the baby face of the NBA right now, he certainly has at least one guarantee he can make.
Played for their second title in 3 years.
It didn't matter to you necessarily who you played to try to win a championship. But there's a little part of you that doesn't mind getting a chance to go back to the Cavaliers. We got a pretty good idea that it's going to be Cleveland. And for us to get back on top, I would say
Analyzing system components. Efficiency 100%.
Coming back from 3-1 down in a series they got heated between the Warriors and LeBron James in particular.
what is your personal relationship like with LeBron?
I mean, I know him well. All the way back from my college days, we obviously run into each other from time to time. We have the battles on the court. When it all said and done, when all of our careers are over with, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of looking back like we had some good times playing the game that we love.
A game with a big focus on player safety. Some argue that do you agree that maybe the league
I think it's cracked down on some of the basketball players. It makes it really tough for the referees to make the right call in that situation. There's such a high alert about what's playing and what's not.
Curry himself has dealt with the soft label his whole career.
You and I talked about last year, talking about the baby faces act.
I don't know what's in people's minds, how they label me, how they perceive me. I know that I'm a God. I know, how I view myself and life and what it's out playing on the basketball court. And so whether you think I'm tough, or you think I'm tough, or you think I'm whatever.
Mission successfully completed.
And I can never get it to connect on this side right here. I just think that just this side. And about 6 months ago, I was going with the Sunday connection. I got a little carried away with it. And they was my own reason to have a playoff team. It was like 4 months of hard work and perseverance.
There is your guarantee. Not about a win, but he's not shaving. Guys, he's 29 years old, and he's showing a personal pride.
Movement efficiency increased.
Poor guy, he can finally go over here. All right, can you also see this? We're talking about a lot of hardware here, right? with the trophy, but also they're fighting for these rings and bragging rights. So a lot of hardware on the line. We'll have part 2 of the interview with Curry coming up tomorrow, and it's really interesting to hear how his life has changed since he first won a championship a couple years ago. He's a 2-time MVP now.
Combat log created.
Just a trip to the grocery store can turn into a scene.
Requesting updated instructions. Please refrain from rebooting me until the operation is complete.
Last year we saw Ron and his wife Aisha on social media. Think we'll see a repeat this year?
Well, she is going to speak her mind for sure. Certainly, after last year, he don't have to turn on Wi-Fi in his house. As he sent out a tweet about the finals being rigged that got a lot of attention. You'll hear his answer about what he's going to be doing on social media.
Evasive maneuver failed.
Thanks, DJ. And all of you at home can see the Warriors take on the Jazz in Game 1 tonight at 9 Eastern. That's right there on ABC. Michael?
I'm just going to talk about it because your face should become your boarding pass to get on the plane. Well, an airline is testing it out this month. We have all the details when we come back.
Compiling status report. Quest data added to archives. Reminder, regular warranty maintenance required.
I think how fortunate I am. I think how much I can do to change people's lives.
My great-great-grandfather lived to be 118 years old.
I've heard many stories from patients and their physicians about what they are going through.
I often told people, oh, I'm going to easily live to be 100. And,
Mission successfully completed.
Retirement age.
We are continually learning and unraveling what is behind this disease.
I may not benefit from those breakthroughs, but I'm sure gonna.
There's been no more energy spikes in my senses. Hurry before the Gorgonites reach it.
Scanning the device. Warning. Non-standard modifications detected.
Get up then, baby. Get up. Get up, clap. Huh?
Insufficient memory space. Archiving data.
Pulling out the boarding pass on your phone. You just walk up to a counter, and your face is used to identify you. Now, they've been using this technology in Finland for a while, and this is what Jeff Lewis is start using. It basically and then that data is then moved into the queries into the database of, for us, the Customs and Border Protection folks to match the picture of the counter and a picture of your passport. You get to get on the plane. So it should move things a little bit further along and a little bit quicker.
Quest complete. Compiling status report.
We don't even want to eat no more.
The hope is that this speeds up the process to get onto those planes, correct?
the plane. It's all about moving us quicker onto the aircraft and getting us to where we want to go.
All right, David.
Initializing attack protocols.
On this one. So anyway, just letting everyone know. Thank you. Now to a slow start, unfortunately, as the summer box office studios are hurting from poor turnout over the Memorial Day weekend. Baywatch missing the mark and Alien Covenant losing steam in its second week. Larry is here, so it's been a rough start to what's typically called blockbuster season. What's going on?
Well,
nice.
$173 million may not sound like
Activating afterburning mode.
I was worried about it. To put it in context, it is down 10% from the same period last year, 20% from 2015, and it is the worst movie Memorial Day early summer performance since 1999. 18 years after that. Can we put a figure on why? Pointing at this time, right? Summer, huge moments, new franchises like King Arthur this year, which is a total bust, $175 million down the drain. The other is tentpoles like Pirates of the Caribbean in its fifth iteration. People get a little tired of it.
Updates downloaded. Rebooting the system. Please wait.
And of course, what's been going on for many years now, there are other options, there are other things that you can go to do, right? You consider I'm going to watch all these new series on television, on cable. Why go out there and do things?
Yeah, that's true. So, but there are some other big movies coming out this summer, so anything you think that's going to buoy up?
This weekend, huge great reviews so far. The Rotten Tomatoes number, I think for
Correct tactical decision detected.
Next weekend. So this is happening for. They often get to make that again in summertime, so we'll see what's happening.
Creature similar to you in appearance detected.
Meter 98% or something. That they wanted to go.
But I'll tell you this, when you die, it's not about a woman or a man, it's just a great.
Right.
Really.
Well, that's good. Let's see what happens.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate it. Coming up next, GMA's Show Me the Money could have more than $1,000 in unclaimed cash. And we're going to tell you the easy way to find out if that's your money. We're on a mission to help.
Good Mother's Day for you.
sometimes fatal infections, Ebola, and other cancers and others. Don't start cell tests if you have an infection. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels of health. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and will take these tests and monitor for liver tests. Tell your doctor if your interlegion or fungal infections are common, and if you've got TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Cell Chance can reduce the symptoms of RA, even without methotrexate, and is also available in a once-daily pill. Ask about Cell Chance XR.
IHOP has a fresh take on fresh fruit. Juicy oranges and plump strawberries, or bananas and berries. Picked at the height of freshness and starting at just $4.99. Did we mention they were juicy? IHOP, eat up every moment.
By the time you head to the bank and wait to get approved for a home loan, that new
Analyzing system components. Efficiency 100%.
Or you can push that button. Skip the bank, skip the waiting, and go completely online. Get the confidence that comes from a secure, qualified mortgage approval in minutes. Lift the burden of getting a home loan with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
When heartburn hits, fight back fast with new Tums Chewy Bites. Fast relief in every bite. Crunchy outside, chewy inside. New Tums Chewy Bites.
Americans, 83% try to eat healthy, and up to 90% the nutrients from food alone. Let's do more. Add 1-A 50 Plus, a complete multivitamin with 100% daily value and more than 15 nutrients. 1-A 50 Plus.
Jay Bush and Duke here. When I'm in the mood for hot dogs and burgers, I go with the classic taste of Bush's baked beans. But I'm feeling bolder, so I go for the robust flavor of Bush's grilling beans. They're a perfect match for steaks and chops.
Dude, I like this wild side.
Bush's Beans. Whatever you're with, we've got a bean for you.
Requesting the serial number of the device. 97% similarity to mine noted.
It's nice that every bad decision doesn't have to be permanent.
Now you can ditch Verizon but keep your phone. We'll even pay it off when you switch to T-Mobile.
Welcome back. It is June 1st, the first day of meteorological summer, which means it's good to go skiing, right? Check it out. Killington, Vermont, they are opening around the Superstar quad today. This is a couple of days ago, so they have one run open, so the good news is you can
Requesting updated instructions. Please refrain from rebooting me until the operation is complete.
In the Atlantic, we expect above 11 to 17 named
Warning. Critical speed. Nearing coding melting point.
hurricanes as we get into hurricane season there. It's already ongoing in the Pacific. This is a tropical depression that is about 200 miles east of Acapulco. We'll be heading inland today, and that will be rain not only to Mexico, but eventually towards the southeast. All right, you may be owed some big-time cash. Show me the money segment is coming up.